But just off the top, the two decisions, obviously, Lucas Hernandez on Marco Reus, and then the Mats Hummels handball. Just quick whip round. Jan, were those decisions correct? Can you live with them?
I can live with them, but what I can't live with, and I think that's what it's all about, is the leadership on the pitch. I think that if you do the first situation with Reus, I mean, was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? We can always discuss that. But I think what the Dortmund fans and people got frustrated about was that why didn't he do that? Why were you thinking of 2-2? We're thinking, well, if that is a penalty, I won't have the top game, the Klassiker, decided by a thing that is very doubtful. So he doesn't go to he probably speaks to VAR, but he doesn't go to the screen and have a look. And then you have this next situation that we must, as a neutral, say, well, you can give a penalty there, can't you? But still, that went on for 4 minutes. Marco Rose went ballistic. And I'm not sure about the staff did him a favor, carry him away like a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think that
annoyed him even more.
Okay. Yeah, because that kind of did a situation extreme. I was sitting next to Rune Bratz and I said, look at the staff, why is he doing that? And then you just felt that you gave the referee a chance to send him in the stand. So I think there was more or less the leadership on the pitch that was not there. The decision in themselves, that could be discussed as we did discuss these situations all the time.
Okay, I mean, I think they were driving it because I didn't see the Royce one, maybe, but he said he saw it clearly. It's a pen for you? Okay. And the handball?
And the handball is a pen as well. And I think you can even add the Alphonso Davies handball in the first half. But certainly on the Hummels and Reus, I think he got Hummels right and Reus wrong for me.
So maybe a bit OTT, but this is what happened after the game. And this is what, because you were there, Jan, for those who don't know. Jan has the privilege because he's platinum tier.
He's big, let's be honest.
He gets to go and speak to Haaland and Bellingham and these guys after games. And Jude Bellingham came out and he referenced the fact that this referee, Felix Zwayer, had been banned for 6 months for match fixing. Now, this was many years ago in 2005.
A long time ago.
I think, obviously, Bellingham wasn't following German football at the time.
He was hardly born, so, you know.
Somebody had told them this. We're going to get into the details of this. It was a lower division game. He was banned for 6 months. He was a young referee at the time. It's the famous Robert Heuser case. We can get into all that later. But, Jan, just tell us about when you're talking to these people after the game. Bellingham is old enough, even he's a professional. He knows. I'd like to imagine the minute those words come out of his mouth, he said, like, all right, not a smart thing to say.
Yes, but the thing is, Gab, is that when you stand in the pitch side, you're not sure which kind of players you get. And the players then go into the dressing room, and you can imagine you lost 3-2. There's a lot of frustration around the situations. So Rose, who's been sent in the stands, a red card, and you know there are so many leaders. There are Kehl, there are Sorks, there are Watzkes, there are all the people. So I think Dortmund, they were on a mission. They went in, and then they sent people out. They sent out Bellingham, they sent out Haaland, they sent out Can and Reus, and they more or less said the same. And I think that Bellingham was very honest. I think that Bellingham, I mean, wise or not wise, that is one other discussion. But I think that was what we're talking about in the dressing room. And so he just kind of took out the atmosphere or what they were saying. I don't think they were thinking of that before the game, but that was attack at Dortmund. And I can't see that isolated. I think that is a lot of frustration getting out of Dortmund. They've been annoyed about Bayern. They feel that Bayern and blah, blah, blah. You know how it is like in German football. So Bellingham went all in honest. And when you're standing there and he says this, you can't believe your ears. And you have to, as a journalist, you have to make if I can call me a journalist, you have to make yourself a decision. Should you follow that up? But because he kind of digged himself so
sorry. And Jan, the follow-up question, correct me if I'm wrong, would have been, sorry, Jude, are you implying that he was biased and intentionally made you lose? That would be the natural follow-up question. And that would have gotten him into a ton more trouble.
He's already into trouble,
that could have been.
Yeah.
He's already in trouble, you would think, right, for saying that?
I think he's going to be in trouble. I would, we're going to get into this a lot more in the Gab and Juls Show because I personally think you as a club, if you're talking about in the dressing room, you need to think about who you're sending back out there to represent you. And maybe you go with older players.
But Bellingham is one of the best, Gab. I have to say, Bellingham, a credit to him. He's 18. He's very articulate.
No question articulate. But on this delicate topic.
I'm just saying that there was a reason why they sent him, because they felt he's one of the best ambassadors they have.
So my theory, right, when I saw watching the game and then seeing Jan's interview with Bellingham, was I can just imagine in the tunnel after the game, right, a bit of chaos, because as soon as full time is given by the referee, you can imagine Zorc and Vasco and Zamer coming down into the tunnel, into the dressing room area, where you also have Salihamidzic and all the Bayern people. So can you just imagine everybody? The referees coming in. Then you can imagine Zorc saying to Felix, you know, you've been booked before, and everybody shouting and stuff, and Bellingham hearing like, oh yeah, I didn't know this story.
You do realize these people aren't Latin. They're cold northern people from
They
North
are
Things,
Latin. Trust me. I mean, Jan has been in tunnels probably where you've had a lot of chaos like that after such a game, and you can imagine everybody shouting and stuff, and then Bellingham said, I'll bring that up. I think he'd be in trouble because he clearly questioned the integrity of the referee on a game like this, because what he was saying, like, I would not be surprised if this game was fixed, because this referee has been involved in a match fixing incident before. So I expect, I don't know, maybe just a one match ban. I don't think it'd be huge, but I think he will get something, or maybe a fine like Jan was saying. But I just think this is, in a way, you have to understand the frustration, especially from a Dortmund point of view, that pretty much everything went against them. The referee decision, the Marco Rose red card, the fact that they played well and yet still managed to lose this game when it was at home, and all of that. And you obviously don't agree with what Bellingham said, but you can understand.
But if I may say, because I think this is the point of Dortmund enough, because I spoke to Dortmund. Imagine I'm driving back from Dortmund to Düsseldorf where I lived, and there were some phone calls. Let's put it this way: the statement or the position of Dortmund, I think, that's why I think that Attacker was more planned. Is that he's not saying he just says fact. In their point of view, I'm not talking about myself and my point of view. This is the fact.
Yeah, but
and also, you didn't ask him. You only asked him about the game, and then he went on, and that came at the end of his kind of answer. You know, it's not like if you said, "Oh, remember that referee was involved in match fixing incident before." He said, "Oh, yeah." He said it by himself. You didn't even ask him.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think there's two separate things. I think we're in agreement here that this is something that was. That they went inside, they talked about it, and to some degree anyway, was planned. And I think that's a big point, and that's backfired. Jules, we're just getting news after Jan left us, and this is the magic of recording, that a criminal complaint has been filed against Jude Bellingham. It's being investigated by the police, I presume, for libel, right?
Yeah, you think that Felix was not happy and he said, Jude, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, like these things have consequences. I don't know if the cops need to necessarily get involved, but hey.
We said he might be in trouble.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.